so we're good. Jeez. But yeah, welcome on in, guys. Hope you're all doing well. It's Thursday, I believe. Yeah, Thursday. One day till the weekend. So you're all good. What I was going to say is I have a fancy new monitor. If you give me a second, I shall. As I say, if you saw the post, it took a little while. We had a little bit of issues, but we're all good now. So yeah, we have currently we have had this sent out to us to test. They've only just released it. Where is it? This one. Except, no, that's a wrong website, Craig. Where is it? Here. Information, features. So, we will be testing this one out. If I go to live session, that's the wrong page. Hi, you see in the back end. Craig, you're useless. Filter back. Wrong bloody one. Properties. This one. This one. Here. Ta-da. This webcam, this monitor has been sent out to us by Yama to do some testing on. We have insane quality on this monitor. It is Pantone certified, and it comes with a validation testing for all of the different colour tones. So we should get some good edits coming out of this. I'm going to switch around my windows because I keep looking up to. I had to do some messing around with my monitors to be able to fit this onto my desk because, yeah, again, something that's in work in progress, but we haven't launched it properly yet, and got my desk all sorted out. So there is that. But yeah, so it's full 4K monitor. You've got blue light, and you're able to mount it on a VESA monitor arm. I currently have it on a stand as I'm going to be moving it between my day job, which is video editing and graphics and motion graphics, and moving it back here to be able to do all the things and test it out properly. It does have speakers in it. It did default to those when I first plugged it in, and I was alright with them, as you'd expect for a screen. They're a little bit tinny, but you can get away with it. It's not a problem. You've also got a KVM switch in it, so you can plug in your laptop as well as a desktop and switch between them. But yeah, it's good. So we're going to test it out. I only got it yesterday, so we're going to test that out and see how things go. But the main thing was to see what sort of things you guys would like to see. I am going to just, again, I haven't set any of this up properly due to rescheduling, internet, all of that sort of thing. So yeah, gonna launch up DaVinci. We're currently in DaVinci Resolve 20.2. We're not on the latest one, so there is that. But you will see I predominantly use DaVinci on my home setup and creative setup and for freelance. And then for my 9 to 5, I am on Premiere Pro, Adobe Creative Suite, all of that sort of thing. So I do have knowledge on both platforms. If you do have any questions on those platforms, let me know and I will do my best to go through them for you. What else was there? Oh yeah, the main reason we're here. The actual point we're here. Hopefully it's still on my computer. It's so weird getting used to 3 monitors, sorry. I keep losing where things are popping up. This one? Footage. Not that one. Downloads. Is it here? Yes. Okay. So this is the one. If you haven't caught it already, made a short film. It's on the YouTube channel. You can check it out now or you can check it out after. But yeah, we'll be going through it. There is supposed to be some extra moving parts on this page. Again, I haven't set up due to the internet issues that I was having and pushing this back and then pushing it back slightly more. But yeah, if you are on the YouTube Shorts, hopefully it's working, on the vertical live, hop on over to the sort of standard YouTube channel to catch all of the editing. It'll make a lot more sense there what I'm talking about, as I only have one canvas set up at the moment for vertical. Going forward, I will be making it so that you guys on the shorts can watch it on the live edit as well. So, without further ado, we'll jump into the video itself. Hopefully it is going to come through all okay. But yeah, we'll run this and we'll see how it goes. I'll play it through once without speaking, and then I'll jump to the parts that I think need some work, and then we'll jump into the edit within DaVinci Resolve, and we can go from there. Any questions during that time, drop them in the chat, I'll answer them. Helps if you change scene. So yeah, that was shot and edited 7 years ago, 2019. There's a lot of little bits and pieces that I would change out. So with the intro, I do love the cutaways. This is actual footage behind it. We can run through a little tutorial whilst we're doing that. We can go through it. One thing I will say from the get-go, this scene's way too fast. And then it slows down to literally 0. So it's kind of a little bit erratic in the editing. I think there needs to be a little bit more human interaction. The likes of this scene is fantastic. On this monitor, I can see so many more colours than what is feeding through to you guys. You guys are getting a lot more blues. I'm getting a lot more turquoises, greens, pinks, all of that sort of stuff. So we'll go into the edit on that properly. This one was a really interesting one. It was shot for what they must have been about 60, 70 foot away. So you've got a lot of haze to contend with. The waters over there are insanely full of life and plankton, and that's what they were feeding on. So it's very hazy. If I could have, if we had slightly higher res cameras or a little bit more light coming through, it would have made that a lot more punchy and effective. But we've got what we've got, and we'll probably play around with that in colour editing to see what we can pull back and get a little bit more detail for you guys to watch. But it was a good school. We've got some close up. Had to chase for that. These ones, again, a little bit hazy. Could probably do a lot of work in the colour grade to pull that back. I love caustics. The sort of light ripple that happens on the floor and the underwater general aesthetics of that sort of stuff. This one, a little bit more washed out. Again, probably could have pulled a lot of that back in grade. There's also a lot of shots that were kind of hanging on quite a lot. I think this is only one of two. I think this is only the one of two shots that we've got actual people in here. Is it? Reusing some of that footage. After this one, I think we've got one piece of footage. Yeah. So we've got that one there, and then we've got the one at the start with the guy coming up from the bottom of the screen. I think that was actually, I can't remember the exact edit that I done for this, but on this part, just after these divers, this was a transition. It wasn't actually that way. I'm sure I edited it to show the difference. Again, colours, they should be really nice and pinpoint vibrant, couldn't really match it up. And I'm not entirely sure why I thought it would be adequate to put 4 panes at the end. So yeah, there's a lot that we can work on this. So we're going to go through it. I'm going to run through some of the processes that I use. So yeah, without further ado, we'll go into our project. We'll rename this. What should we rename it? Maldives after 7 years edit. Okay. So what you've got here, this is laid out. I've always had it laid out the same or similar way to Premiere as I worked on Premiere originally. And you can set up your workspace specifically for this. So you can go into proper view mode, which will bring it into full screen. And then you can pick your panels. There is a way to pick up the layout presets. You can go into it, and at start up it'll allow you to select it in a certain way, whatever type you've came from. It'll be the likes of Final Cut, Avid, Premiere, Sony Vegas. They were all options when I first done it. I've been running DaVinci now for 10 years plus. There's still a lot that I need to actually break into and work out. But to bring clips in, you just open your File Explorer. I just need to remember where I saved all of my files. Because I am very smart at that. I've not even extracted it, so that goes well. Extract. So whilst that extracts, we've got about 5 minutes. If you have any questions related to the film, let me know. Until such point as we are ready to go, we should maybe go into, what the hell? Why is none of my text feeding through? Sorry. I do not support Arsenal, which is perfectly fine. Interesting. We will pop that out and we'll bring that down. Morning, Romeo. How are you doing? Interesting. Close that. Into work. Going to have to stream this later. No worries, Romeo. Take it easy. Hopefully you have a great day. Apologies it couldn't have been on Monday for you. Internet issues, as we were discussing earlier. Still having internet issues. Things crashed out last night as well, so I'll be on the phone to them later to go through all of that. But yeah, we'll go through this. For those that haven't been on, interesting. Cool. Sound. That haven't been on before. I am a videographer, photographer, motion graphics designer for a series of scientific tech companies. I also do a lot of freelance work for local companies and businesses to increase their social media presence, promotional videos, all of that sort of thing. I really want to sink my teeth into a documentary at some point. Um, as mentioned in my channel, I do have a bunch of footage from a operation I was having on my head, which I need to sit and sift through and actually edit together into a piece. But I'm not sure how to tail it out because I've not really had much in the way of like closure on that thing. So we'll see how that goes. Still getting some of the side effects of that issue. I had a growth in the middle ear, got that removed. Could hear again, but I've been getting a lot of the side effects still. So yeah, I do that. I used to have a YouTube channel back in 2009 through to 2018, 19. And then I stopped posting for 3 years, pretty much after the Maldives one. And due to that, decided I was pretty burnt out and decided that I would go back through and I would work on all of this content that I had been doing previously and get it out to you guys. I'd been doing a lot of freelance stuff in that time and I'd moved into full-time videographer employment. So I learned a lot during that time, and then decided I want to set up a channel afresh, and here's this one. And we decided to do some tutorials, following some freelance stuff, which will be coming in the next couple of weeks. We have a shoot coming up shortly. And yeah, these live edit sessions, looking back on content that I've done before and how I would be able to improve it. The old channel was more of a vlog-based channel than anything else. But yeah, all of that footage seems to have transferred. Yes, all 113 items. So we're going to have some good fun going through and working on this. I'll show you the workflow that I go through. I am very keen to get this kind of top notch, so we'll probably move away from the sounds that I had downloaded. We don't need that one, and we don't need that one. Don't need that one either. Cool. So we got rid of 3 clips right there. So if you are looking to view details in particular about your shots, up here shows you all your metadata, date that it was shot, etc. So yeah, we've got that. We've got search functions. You can go by timecode, bin, scene, shot, etc. So you can sort everything that way. If you're looking to have similar to how Premiere runs it, within the edit page, this is where we're going to spend majority of the time on this live. Within the edit page, if you go up to these little timeline view options on the top left of your timeline, and click it, and click display stacked timelines. If you have nested timelines, that you are wanting to jump into and tweak the edit of, or specific colours on those, which is a workflow in itself, which I can discuss in a bit more detail, then you can open that up and still have access to your main master edit here, which streamlines the process if you're looking to do more in the way of rush selections. So you could have a timeline that is split out into a certain day that you shot stuff, and then into a certain subject that you're talking about or that you're shooting. And then it's quick and easy to jump between the tabs, pull in the shots that you have whittled down to what you think will work well in the sequence, and it just cuts down the time that you're in this tab overall. You can also cut it together. So say here we have all of these clips that are of a similar colour. They're all that sort of sandy, light coral, like washed out coral kind of colour. So we could just select all of these if we were working this way and then drag them in. It helps if I select them all. And then you drag them in. Populates the timeline. We can rename the timeline here, Coral Shots. That'll populate there. We can then add a new tab. This could be our master edit. Drop in this music just for the sake of it. Didn't even know that was in the folder. However, drop that in, and then say we wanted this wee bit. These would be cut down a lot more. Shortcut is B for your cutting tool. And we'll just cut here. A for your selection tool. Control C to copy and paste. And we'll lock this off and Control V. And you then have the shot in there. If you have selected the shots and the areas of the shots that you really like, you can work really, really fast in that manner, jumping back and forward between the two timelines. But for the sake of this, we'll delete timeline 2 and we will come up here, type in Coral Shots, and we can delete that. You can zoom in on your shots here, just with that slider. Again, you can switch between all the views here for a better idea. I generally work at the most zoomed in possible because I generally preview in the window rather than in the viewer up here. The next thing that I always go into is audio, but for the sake of this edit, we'll run it into the timeline, project settings, sorry. The project settings. So you'll see that we've got a 4K timeline, 60 frames, which matches up if we go back into here and go into the listings. You will be able to see that it's shot at 60 frames. So there's scope for us to do slow down, speed ups, all of that sort of thing as well. Sorry, just got to close out a couple of unnecessaries. And again, just for your knowledge, we will be editing on the Ayama Pro Graphic. The line is really good and really promising from the specs that I've read. I've got it for a prolonged time to test between my day job and at home and content creation and freelance. So we'll see how it goes. But within the project settings, sorry, we are shooting or editing, sorry, within a 4K timeline, 60 frames per second. We don't really need to do any interlace encoding. We can set it up as a vertical canvas, which would allow us to do the likes of reels and stuff. So we might cut down and do some reels out of this as well. Monitoring means that all of these will be 1080p, 1080 HD, sorry. And then you can select your optimized media and your render cache, what format it will save into. You can specify exactly what size you want your proxies to go to. Ideal if you're working with very high end raw footage. Again, your project media areas here, which should be set up on my server, but I've not done that for today's video. You can also edit on the cloud, which gives access to other DaVinci editors that you allow access to, so you can edit on it with your friends if you're on a larger project. The color management is where I wanted to touch on. So the color signs, we're setting it in the DaVinci wide gamut. You could also work, if you're doing any visual effects, working in ACES is a good place to be, as it gives you the most range of information possible within the color on your videos. We can select exactly what our timeline color space will be. So again, we can work in ACES. We can work in DaVinci, where is it? DaVinci wide gamut, sorry, looking straight at it. And our output will be Rec 709, which is standard across YouTube. You can select a default LUT that will be applied on all your footage. If you're shooting on one camera, this can be interesting and speed up things until you get to the color grading side of things, and then you would apply your LUT and do all the tweaks in there. We don't really need to have a look in here just now. Camera raw, you can select what raw profile is coming in. Majority of the time I'm sitting on Canon raw. USR doesn't really shoot raw, but it shoots a flatter profile. For this video it was shot on a GoPro, as you'll see by the data. The only other one that you really need to be interested in is your video capture and playback. For this, technically, we should be on 1080 60 frames. Video depth, 10-bit is usually always good. The more information you have, the better. Depends on the source files that you're pulling in as well. And then you've got your Fusion, audio. For all this, we just leave it just now. If you can't hear, I have a dog outside. So yeah, next port of call is to do some audio. Again, this is the monitor that I'm testing out now. Only got it delivered yesterday, so bear that in mind. For £500, it's seeming pretty good. I've done some test editing last night, but I will hold my judgments on it until very much later on. To give perspective, I'm on video game editing monitors at the moment. So, just now, I'll go to this because I don't know if I'm logged in. Audio. We'll go on to audio.com. If you don't know that, I do have a link that I can share that will give you guys, I think it's up to 70% off on their lifetime and subscriptions. Lifetime will bring it down to 119, give you full access altogether. They've got some really interesting tech on this, along with the Voices AI, which I have used personally for the likes of my day job, in that I was on a time crunch, didn't have time to get anybody to do any voiceovers. I recorded the voiceover and then reskinned my voice with one of these voices.
Hi, I'm Archer. Think calm confidence, a bit of charm, and just enough grit to keep your story interesting. Hi.
So with that one, it takes however your inflection is and just readjusts the sort of levels of the bass, treble, and mids to mimic his voice. You will still get a very, I found out, a very Scottish accent coming through that, without a doubt. It still comes through, but they are surprisingly really, really well made. You don't really get that computer kind of feel, generated feel to them. So definitely worth looking into. Also on this, you have the likes of Link Match. We won't be using that today purely because you can put in any music you look for through a Spotify link, or a YouTube link, or wherever it is that that video and audio is streaming from. It'll run it through its AI system and select similar ones. You can also do a little chatbot. For this, we'll go underwater world short film peaceful with some intrigue. It'll run through its catalogue like it says and spit out 6 in this case. Options. We can run through it, listen to them, decide which ones are more appropriate, and pick from there. This one. which is alright, but not fantastic. I've just realised that my routing is all over the place for audio. This is what happens when you speed through things to set stuff up. Right. Okay, there we go. That's better. You'll probably hear me a little bit clearer and not have as much of the dog barking in the background. So yeah, we have that, and then not really what we're looking for there. And find it best to listen to the intro and then give a listen to the midsection, see if it changes up. It's kind of similar all the way through, a little bit sleepy, making I lost interest within the first 5 seconds of that. So yeah, we'll go through and have a look at that. I'm not sure entirely what happened there. Everything's going wrong. Doesn't particularly give me the vibe that I was looking for. What? I generally look at the waveform and decide from the waveform where the interesting part might come, because we can always cut like the first 2 seconds off of a track and then fade it in manually ourselves. It's a little bit 70s. It's a little bit 70s esque. 70s alien-esque kind of vibes. And what I'm going to do, go and put transform. Apologies, vertical viewers. like 7. There we go. Now you can see what I'm doing. So yeah, that was a little bit too sci-fi. Now I'm not going to write this off because we can edit it together with other stuff, but it's not something that I'm kind of feeling. So more awe-inspiring and more classical, less synthesized. This is a new function, having a more involved discussion with it. Before it would just send it out and then you'd thumbs up or thumbs down. It's a little bit sing-songy. Definitely not. If you guys have any suggestions of styles to type in, by all means. Definitely not. A little bit too punchy. We're just looking for chill. This might be a winner. Check the midpoint. We'll favourite that. We'll go into theirs. Pause. It's alright. You can also break out all of the strings.
Think Blue Planet David Attenborough. Spelled that wrong. Can't believe I spelled his name wrong. Oh no. It's fine. Tell you what, we'll download this one, short film, social media, continue, download the song, because we can jump from here into a more like speedier quicker tempo, strings and woodwind. Quicker tempo, stings and woodwind. They're all in such like depressing chords. Featuring Mika. Yep, we found it. Ah! What the fuck? Uh-oh. What was that last one? Oh, bollocks. Guys, help out. What did that last one say? We'll go back. We'll open this one. And we'll have a look. The joys of running two streams. Eagles of Armenelos. Eagles of Armenelos. Okay. Eagles of Armenelos. Okay, we got it. Social media, continue, download song. All right. On to the next one. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. And we'll drop in our freshly downloaded tracks. New bin audio. We'll put them in there. Then within this, we'll create a new bin called non folly ND and D. There we go. Love the MX Master mouse. The one that I've got just now, the Bluetooth keeps dropping out every so often, so it's a bit of a pain, but I love the functionality of it. Being able to drop into like multi-view is second to none. So we start here. That's all feeding through. Figure like a nice slow build. We can also drop in some stock footage to this. There. Where's my mouse gone again? There. Pull that in. Drop pull this little handle. Drop a little fade on. Pull that out a wee bit, just so that you can see it. You can grab this circular handle and have it rise exponentially. So it has a little bit more dynamicism to it. And then using I and O to mark our ins and outs is also handy. I think it was from here. Yeah, we can take it from there. When editing it, I've got image in my mind of how it's going to go. So listening to the music kind of shuffles an edit. I've not looked at any of the footage yet, which is entirely backwards for majority of people. And we can also go back into this, pull out the stems, and from that we can put forward just those high-pitched strings that you hear, which you heard back here, and the flutes. Make those runs really, really prominent, drop the sort of brass that you're hearing down, and it takes a bit of finessing. To there. That's just a nice little breakout there. Which brings us to 2 minutes 10. And if we look back at this, it was 2 minutes 30. So we're cutting 20 seconds off of it. We're running with the same sort of intro, which I'll show you how to do. So yeah, shall we get into it? What we'll do with this bit is we'll drop that down, add a little fadey fade, because we don't need the brass to be really prominent there. It's just like a flavour in the background. Majority will be some like foley sound of the water, etc. There we go. If in doubt, add in a crossfade just to pull the two tracks closer together. You edit them so that they're almost able to join up, and then the crossfade kind of gives the forgiveness. I think up to here, hold control, click on, is it control? Hold alt, sorry, and click on the little white line that you see here. Click on it again, and then we can drag it down. We can make it a little bit quieter until the impact point that we want. So bit more foley here. Bubbles. Fake fish noises. All of that. If you want to see the sort of edit and stuff that went into Blue Planet, they put so many noises that aren't actually the correct noises for this. I'm thinking this is the bit where it could be quick edits, some flitty fish, all that sort of stuff. So, we'll go back into this view. Allow me to view things a little bit more. Okay. We'll go with this. We've got some foley already on that. We'll lock this track. We don't need to touch it again until we're editing a little bit more. Unlink. Bring it down onto that track. Link it back up. Link it back up. And then we should be able to move it there. We've got that solitary little guy. It might be a little bit too minor of a chord to start on, but we'll persevere with it and we'll play about and see if it works. I'm thinking it might be more adequate to have something like this as the intro. Fill that in. We'll delete that. Fill this in. Drop it down onto that video track. Tell you what, we'll get rid of all these down to another track, and then it makes ingesting a little bit easier. I'll link them back up and we'll lock this one. Got this. And we'll have a wee fade in B to cut your clip, remember. So A for normal. Really need a call out on the screen. We'll have just a standard half-second fade in. Do a wee bit longer here. We'll drag this out a little bit longer. And then this will be our text layer. We'll go into effects. Comes up down here. Go into titles. I have a pack from Whip templates that I use predominantly. I have another pack as well. I think it's the modern typography pack. It's a little bit funky. Kind of that generic look that a lot of places are using now. But if we go here and type whip, you can pull in whip text. And if we open the inspector, we can edit it here. So into the the blue, edit, we'll do that on a separate layer. Into the blue, we'll bring this sizing up to there, and we'll adjust the positioning. The positive of using whip templates is that we can get it to look the best it possibly can. Interesting. It's not working. Cool. Do that. We will hop back into our clip. Adjust the sizing, the spacing. For sure as hell, the font. Got a perfect one. I think it was Oswald. Oswald? No. Shall we stick with the sort of typeface look? I think that will work best. Into the blue, and then we can have our hyper new kind of clean text. Bring that back down. The Maldives. Bring this down as our secondary. Center and center, and we can bring that to Palantino looks alright when it's a small font. Doesn't look so good when it's big. Should we stick with... Should we go with... Go Barlow. No. We'll go with that. And then at secondary level, and we're all good. Then we... go to animation, blur, there. And once we're in there, we can go to our color tab. Color tab. Then alpha. Is not there. This is probably because I've put blur on it. Fusion clip. Okay. Rename latter. Then title 1 blue. And F2 title 02 Maldives. Oh, I think I might have broke stuff. Difference. Definitely not difference. I shall come back to that. It's a really straightforward way of doing it, and I can't remember how you do it. Anywho. I'm getting bogged down in details. Change. Go to retime controls. That works. Effectively slowed that down to 30 frames per second, still runs perfectly smoothly. Just fade out that. Fade out these. first clip will lead. Blodge on the camera, big blodge on the camera. I mean, there's big water blobs on the camera, so it's a little bit. Silver. Howie. Hey, a nice little place. Get it? Maldives place. Nice. Ooh, stonefish. Should we set the scene? Set the scene with some yeah, might as well. Again, we'll close it out. See, I quite like the. I'll drop the audio on that. It's incredibly long. Don't need it that long. We can just. What am I looking for? Yep. Stabilization. Stabilize. think this needs to be on the transition point. Might be changing the music altogether. Who knows? Oops. Looking for the turtle. No. Nice long breath in on these ones, and then we'll do a faster, snappier cut as we get into the rest of it. Could have some more footage of Dory's. Nice useful trick if you've got two audios that are similar but not fully the same. Play it through and doing a J cut flows way better. Add an across dissolve and you're pretty much there. And then we're having quick cuts there. Da -da 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 -da. So vibrant colors. Aye. Put that in. Where's the shoal? Put this in just to give me a little fight later on. There's a big bubble on the lens there. Bam, 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 bam. I like that shot, but it's too far away, so we'll see if we can zoom in on that. Any... Talk about making my life difficult. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know if I've still got the shark footage. Hopefully be a good shot. It's a transition shot, if any. I will be right back. Bear with me. I do not have a be right back screen. I will go to the just chatting screen and I shall see you shortly. back. All right. Don't know why I shouted back. Anyway. Got to get Nemo in. Oops. Always do that. Learn from my mistake. Don't hit delete when you're doing that because it ripple deletes everything. Yeah, we're changing out the music. I've done it again. Want something similar to that. Like match. Shall we find something similar? Open new tab. Similar to my previous piece of music. I think we will. Content. Share the link. Might be able to get behind that. It's got the little flutes in the background. We need to listen to the centre bit because that's the different bit from the. Yep, I think it's this one. We've changed the song, guys. Pull that to the audio file. And we drop in. We drop in. The least noticeable one. Eh. This is a quick and dirty way of doing speed ramps. So, does it say not as a do? Move that down to there. Oops. Change to 75. Whoa, that was fast. Speed. because it's shot in 60 frames, we can comfortably bring it down by hand. Oh, that was all of them. It's just this one that I need. 230. Wow. To zoom in on your timeline, it is Alt and then scroll wheel. And with the MX Master, you can scroll from left to right and right to left, with the little side wheel here. Right. I'll watch it back several times just to make sure that it's all running okay. I mean, there's still lots and lots of editing to do on this, but if I get the main edit sorted, then we'll be good. I think there's going to be a fair amount of we'll get some stock footage, not of underwater stuff, but embellishments, so I'll do some bubble transitioning and the likes. What I really want to find is that blooming shark. There he is. Little baby blacktip. Could still give you a nasty bite, but a beauty nonetheless. An absolute beauty nonetheless. Apologies if I've missed any chat. But ew. Such is life. Oh. I didn't. Did that just fit like it was meant to be? Pretty much. Interesting. The real issue is going to be the colour grading. To match everything up. Because I believe the GoPro was set on auto white balance, so it would hop about. That looks like an aquarium, so I'm taking that out. That's pretty much just texture. It's always good to have a little bit of that just not like being a predominant feature. I'll drop the audio down on that. And that goes about there. God damn it, shaky hands. We'll clip speed, we'll put that down to 80. It'll be way shorter than the allotted time. I think I remember why I'd done the quarter panel view in the original. But yeah. Hopefully that sorts everything out. Been getting little error messages, sorry. We're gonna do a funky title. Don't worry. out. Bring that over. playing around with the frame rate is one of the easiest ways to add visual interest as well. So interpreting this as 24, this is 60, and then this is 24, gives that chill, fast, chill. I think I might put that there. This here. And then interpret this as 24 frames as well. We'll go with 50%. We have it's 28 seconds. I'll add some stabilize to this. Whoa, similarity. Also for stabilizing, I tend to play around and see which one gives the best look. Most likely it's going to be similarity. Easy for me to say. If we do interpretation 24, that should ease things out. Yep. So we have got distracted by that, so I didn't see the time code. 20 seconds. We'll have way less than 20 seconds here because this needs to be interpreted as 24. Bring that to there. C B B B B B B B. Then optical flow, and we'll go with optical flow for that entire piece. From there to this, we'll do a subtle push in on that. So come up to your inspector tab if it's not open. Go to the zoom property, click the little keyframe node, bring it in. We'll go to about here. And where's the first one? There. So technically we'll reset all of that. I want it starting before, so it's smooth to here. reset that one. And go to the end. Frame it in. Maybe we did need that. We'll go with it there. Okay. Bring that up a little. Maybe more blue space. Bit more of those blueies there. Oh, see. Time controls. Okie dokie. Seems to be going alright. Mm-hmm. Do you know when you edit something and you think, interesting, and then you tweak something and it automatically changes it to something even better? That's an instance. You've got nice foreground movement coming round, revealing the title. I do feel like we need more of the turtle dropped in, but we should be okay. Sharky. It's probably a wee bit long in the tooth. Yes, I just giggled at my own joke. We could bring Turtle back in. Might get some shallow stuff. Yeah. So starts out relatively start out shallow. Oh shit. Start out shallow. caustics. Here. Here. We'll interpret this as the 24 frames per second. Bring that out here. And bunch up the contrast. Yeah, I like that. There's a cut problem there. Gap in edit. Okay. So there. Broadside would be better. To there, to there. Then we've got from effectively 19 seconds. Remember that. So we went from shallow to deep to shallow to more shallow. To deep. Okay, so we need some deep shots. It's a cool looking fish, but so it's quite cool. Goes from shallow to a bit deeper. Here. There. Uh-oh. Spinning circle of doom. Whilst that sorts itself or doesn't sort itself, I'm going to go get another drink. I may be ending it here as I do need to phone up my internet service provider because I've been noticing some funky stuff with the bitrate and loading of websites. If you give me like 3 minutes, I'm gonna sort this, get a drink, and then come back up and hopefully this is sorted. If it is, I'll finish off the edit. If not, I'll finish it in my spare time, and then you can look forward to a colour with me tutorial video coming up on the channel as well. I'll probably finish this edit later tonight if it doesn't play ball. Okay. So that dictates it. Thank you for dropping on in. Like I say, we'll finish off the final little bits of this edit, and we'll do a colour with me. For those who don't know, I'm in a Discord called Madhouse Gaming. Within that, I'll post up the original one, the edit, for you all to have a little peruse, and we'll get a colour with me episode sorted and uploaded. And if you want to stay up to date with future live sessions, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to stay up to date with all uploads on my channel. And I will see you all in the next one. Thanks again. looking at the wrong camera. Cheers.